Happy Thursday!
Welcome to another debacle.
Another one. Here we go again. So let's see what we got today. We got Roostar, my man. How you doing, brother? Good to see you in here today. Good. And so far, kind of quiet. I know we got a couple stalkers out there, so welcome to the stalkers. I know you're quiet, but I hope you cast your vote because we got the dance-off coming up tonight. Be a good one.
Don't forget. Always got the dance-off.
Absolutely. Rooster says, yo! Hey, there's Oliver.
What's up, Oliver? I see you got my ping.
Good to have you, brother. We got to get together one of these days, do another deep dive, see what's going on and what's happening on the One Token. So we'll have to check it out. I know there's been some changes. And Smiley Girl, my dear, good to see you.
Howdy, howdy.
Okay, so Cyril, now, of course, this week has been a little bit strange. I mean, it started out Monday, and the markets were kind of going down. Then Tuesday hit, and it's like a plane crash. And then suddenly now we're in the green. What the hell, buddy?
Well, if you guys were with us on last Friday's Freaky Friday episode, then you remember when Serenity asked me, right, he's on that side, when Serenity asked me what my thoughts on the market were. And I said, well, it been trying to make another high for the last 3 days, right? Was failing, so we were probably going to see a pullback, and we did, right? And so we had that pullback, and then we had the Fed interest rate decision, right? That happened on Wednesday, and that's when a bunch of bigwigs sitting up in a fancy office decide how much more interest they're going to charge. They decide to keep it the same, so it remains at 3.25% to 3.5%. Or sorry, 5.25% to 5.5%. And the markets, they didn't expect an increase, right? So that's good. Otherwise, if the markets had expected an increase, we would have seen a much higher rally from that. They pretty much had priced in it was probably going to stay the same, but they wanted to be safe in case they did a rate cut, right? Or sorry, I had it backwards earlier. Long day, but if they raised the rates, the markets would have come down, right?
Right. Okay.
So they were pricing it that we think it's going to stay the same, so we had that bit of an increase when they did in fact decide to keep it the same and not raise the rates.
Okay. And that makes sense. And yeah, you had me confused there for a split second. I'm like, wait a minute. I thought if interest goes up, markets go down. And yeah, it's always opposite. This is like, no, now I'm all confused.
Yeah, it's been a long day. Don't ask.
No worries. Ags, how you doing, my dear? I hear the box got to Norway. So yeah, hopefully you will see it soon. See how that goes. Yes, Oliver, it would be awesome, brother. We definitely got to reconnect. AC Trades, good seeing you, my man. Hey, AC, that was a great chat today on the Pillars community. I loved it. I got bits and pieces of it, but I made sure to hang around for the whole thing. I'm going to go watch the recording. But man, it was awesome to see you out there and sharing the info, brother. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Okay, so speaking of trades, Austin, that's a great thing you're in here because you just triggered my mind. I just got done reading an article talking about meme coins, and we're going to start seeing more of these. This guy, what was it? Somebody bought $250 worth of Quantico or whatever, cashed out 5 days later for $250,000. So I think we need to talk about meme coins for a bit because we're going to see these articles pop up all the time. But I don't think a lot of people really understand how to participate in a meme coin. So Cyril, enlighten us a little bit, buddy. How do we play the meme coin game and get ahead?
Yeah. So you got to understand the reason why the meme coin game works, right, is because most of the people who are buying it saw a post somewhere from somebody on social media being like, yo, look at how much I made. Let's go. This has gone up 40,000%. If you had bought $100 worth, it would be this now. Right. And so they come into the space. They don't really know what they're doing. They're buying a token because someone said it was going to make them money and their friend or some public figure that they trusted decided to shill it. Right. That's why the meme coins work. They don't work long. You wind up with a couple every now and then that get really successful, right? Like we all know Shiba Inu, right? We all know Pepe, Dodge coin was a meme token that just never died, right? But that's rare. The likelihood of you being able to locate and identify at near the start one of the tokens that's actually going to still be around is, I mean, yeah, it's a non-zero chance, but the odds are very slim. A lot of the people who do wind up getting in at the ground floor on something like that, it's because they either A, know the people who launched it, or B, they have just been going around putting like 30, 40 bucks into every single token that launches and crossing their fingers and hoping one hits, right? But that's just go to the gambling table. Just go just go to Vegas, right? If that's what you're trying to do, and play a slot machine. You've got the same odds essentially. So the way to play it, if you decide against advisement to play something like that when you're not really good at trading already, if you see that there's a lot more buyers than sellers on the deck screener and the buy volume is more, right? And if you, because on deck screener, you can look at the 24-hour tab, the 12-hour tab, 6-hour, and then it's 1 hour and 5 minutes, I think. Oh yeah, there we go. You can pull it up. Yeah. So you can see 24-hour percentage, and when you actually click on one of those, you can see the volume as well in that tab right there. So as you can see, over the last 24 hours, it had about $1.4 million more in buy volume than it did sell volume, right? Okay. Now, if you look at the 6-hour tab,
got it.
Yeah, you can see that the bulk of that difference was at least 6 hours ago, right?
Okay.
And then when you look at the 1-hour tab, now see, here's where it starts to get really close, right? In the last 1 hour, it's a $200,000 difference. Then you look at the last 5 minutes, but again, it's all percentage based. So make sure you're looking at the percentage difference between the two. And now you see there's more sell volume, right? So to play a meme coin like this, what you would do is you would let a sell period go by, right? Wait for it to come back a bit. Watch your 5 minutes, see when it starts transitioning more to buys. That buy volume starts coming up. A lot of the charts will also have an indicator at the bottom of the chart showing the volume, right? That's what all those little vertical sticks are underneath your chart candles.
Right.
Your chart's really messed up, though.
It is. I know. I was just trying to mess with that. I was like, what the hell? It's got this one huge spike there. Like, what is that?
That's somebody getting wrapped with a very big buy and losing an insane amount of money.
Yeah, I'm trying to zoom out just so I can see the damn bars. But yeah, that one just wigged it out. There we go. Okay, now I'm starting to see something.
Yep.
I'm even on the 4-hour and it's doing that. It's like, oh my God.
But your goal, right, is you want to be like a ninja. You want to get in, let the buy volume run up. When you see it starts to shift in the 5 minute, and now you got more sellers than buyers, just get out, right? Don't be sitting there trying to go for a 20,000% gain or a 50,000% gain. The likelihood of you actually holding that long anyway is also nil, right? Because you're going to see that first big number and you're going to sell it, right? You're not going to sit there and wait until it's worth a couple $1 million. You're just not. And because if you are, you're going to wind up losing it 9 times out of 10, right? Because you wind up holding. We've discussed that before on different episodes. I won't spend a lot of time on that mentality, but if you're sitting there holding it, trying to get to that, you're going to be the one left holding at the end when everyone else is sold. So in and out, aim for that percentage gain of, something more reasonable, like, there's a lot of momentum. I'm going to catch 40% of that. And I actually did that last night. I put $1,000 into Bonk, sold it when I woke up this morning, and I actually made 44.5%. But if I had held it until now, I actually would have made 108%. But I don't care about that, right? I'm there to get my, 40%, 50%, whatever I can take from a meme coin to grow my account. If you want to leave a little bit in there as a moon bag, I mean, go for it. But ultimately, get in, get out.
Exactly. Okay. And now, one thing I want to bring up here real quick, because Oliver made a great comment, and I'll catch up on the comments here a sec, but honeypots. Let's talk about this for a second. Let's bring that chart back up here to the top again, because some of these are honeypots. Now, first of all, let's understand what a honeypot is. Then let's look at how we can tell.
Yeah, so a honeypot is essentially a token that has the ability to limit people's ability to sell their tokens or to mint fresh tokens. So, let's say they have a starting supply of 1 million tokens, right? They could just go mint themselves a quadrillion tokens and dump it, which will rip out whatever liquidity is in there, even if the liquidity pool tokens are locked, right? Other honeypots, they're able to go in there and limit the amount you can sell, right? So you can't sell your whole bag, or maybe you can't sell at all. There's plenty of tokens out there that do that, or ones that have adjustable taxes without a hard limit set. It's okay for a token to have a tax. What's not okay is what's not okay is if they have a tax without a hard-coded top limit in there, right? So my consultation firm was actually hired to help Oliver out with writing a token at one point. Hi, Oliver. And I coded in there that the tax could never be more than X%, right? That way, if he decided, I want to set the sell tax to 99%, right? He can't do that. It's not physically possible. So honeypots, they're meant to catch your hand in the honey jar.
It's kind of like reaching in, grabbing the cookie. Now you can't get out because you made a fist. It's like, let go of the cookie. Like, oh, hell no. I got the cookie. No, I just want my hand back.
Yeah, I mean, that's where it comes from, the phrase honeypot. And you will 100% lose your money every single time if you wind up in a honeypot. Now, Dex Screener does have that warning list, but you got to scroll down to see it. Like you click on
New pair. Grab anybody here.
Okay, that's on Avalanche. Yeah, that's fine. Scroll down.
Okay.
All right, scroll up a little bit. But yeah, see, you have to scroll pretty far. Now you see where it says Go Plus Security?
Yes.
Right. So there's a drop-down list there, and you can see the checks that it's run. And those checks will tell you, if it's a honeypot based off of what the Solidity contract says. It'll also tell you what the tax is, if there's a tax. It'll tell you if there's anti-whale mechanics. Like, it'll give you all that information. So it's always good to check that. There's going to be some tokens where you're not able to check that. A good example would be anything on Solana. Solana is an entirely different coding structure. So if you went to Bonk, right, which is on Solana,
okay,
you won't see the Go Plus Security tab. So, yep, now scroll down, and it's not there.
No, there's nothing.
Different code structure. It uses Rust, not Solidity, like all other EVM networks do. So that's something to be mindful as well. Like the standard checks and token sniffer and that kind of stuff, they're not going to work with Solana meme tokens. And I know that that's the network a lot of meme tokens are launching on right now, because that's the network that's hot for some reason. I don't know why. I don't like Solana. I've done both development on both networks, and I do not like developing on Solana. It's so weird. Like, you don't just pay a gas fee to put your transaction in. You literally have to rent a certain amount of space on that block, and then whatever space isn't used, great. it'll sit there in that contract until you reclaim it. Like if you're deploying contracts, it basically opens like a virtual kind of like temporary wallet, right, to own and run that contract, and it will leave the extra gas in there if you didn't use all the space that you rented. It's
that's wild. Yeah. I know a lot of things are launching on Solana. It's becoming bigger and bigger. You know, you've got Helium that moved over. Now they've got the 5G network that's running all on the Solana chain.
Yep.
And some other things are starting to pick up on there. So it's really interesting. Now, we had a bunch of comments come through, and I want to catch up on those real quick.
Yes, I saw a lot of good ones.
Yeah. John Richter says, confirmed. Mortgage house and dump all into meme coin. Yeah. Let it all ride on black. There we go. Okay. That's pretty much what it's like. Meme coins, exactly they are. Only ETH meme tokens are real. That's an interesting comment there, Oliver. Only ETH meme tokens. See, I don't know. For me personally, I think the fact that I'm paying exorbitant amount of gas fees on top of gambling, it's like Russian roulette there, man. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. What do you think, Cyril?
Yeah, like I think he was probably trying to make a joke there.
I hope so.
Yeah, no, most meme tokens aren't gonna. So a lot of them do launch on ETH, yes. But the reason for that is because there's more liquidity available on ETH because it's the most commonly used network. It's where the deepest liquidity pools are. It's where people have most of their money because that's the easiest to access for most retail traders. The second easiest to access is the Binance network, and that's why the BSC is the second most commonly used one for meme tokens. And then for third, it's going to be whatever network is currently hot for whatever reason. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if we start seeing AVAX meme tokens come along soon.
Yeah, it's been exploding.
Yep.
As much as you hate it, which I think is pretty funny because I know Rose won her Freaky Friday prize on AVAX, so I know it's got to be up a little bit.
I haven't looked, actually. I probably should.
Probably should. So BTK says, I know how to check on Solidity contracts, but I don't know how to tell on Solana contracts. Maybe you can explain.
So Solana contracts are actually super duper simple the majority of the time. There's not a lot of code to them, especially if they're a meme token. And you would have to go to the Solana chain explorer, like I think it's solscan.com or something. And then you would have to navigate to the mint ID. That's what they call the token contract. And then you would have to view the metadata because unlike EVM networks, what it does is it doesn't make a token contract. It pins the info to the interplanetary file system, IPFS.
Okay.
This whole discussion. It's basically for making data across a whole bunch of different devices, so it doesn't live in any one particular location and it can't ever really be removed, right? Okay. So kind of similar in the end result of making something immutable on the blockchain, but with Solana, the only thing that you make immutable is essentially the identity of the token. You can change anything else about it. Yeah, just it's interesting stuff, but that's a whole another conversation. But you would have to view the metadata on the Solscan because you're not going to be looking at a token contract. You're going to be looking at info up on IPFS. Okay.
So yeah, it's a whole new level of education we've got to dive into. So we might have to make a video on that one of these days, how to go in and dig through it.
Yeah, for sure.
That'd be good. And Oliver says, doesn't always tell you on Honeypot, but Cyril gave me good advice. He said, always try to buy and sell $1 at first.
Yeah.
Good advice. Now, I've tried that to where I would go in and I'd buy $1 worth. I'd turn around and I'd sell that $1 worth. And it worked just fine. Okay, now I went in and I bought $20 worth. I waited an hour. Then I couldn't sell anything, even though the price was 3x. Like, what the hell just happened? There's some crazy stuff in those. So, guys, biggest thing is be safe. Remember, meme coin is gambling. Straight up, that's all it is.
And if you can imagine it, I can code it to do it, right? Like I think I mentioned this before on a very early episode, but I could actually write a token so that if you decide to send tokens to Serenity and you want to send them like 100 tokens and you have like 1,000, I can have it set so that it will instead just transfer your balance to me, right? Like whatever you think of, it can be coded in there. If I wanted to code in like a 0.05% tax on all transactions and have it sent automatically to my wallet, I could, right? So just understand that just because buying and selling a dollar works, it's always going to alert you to a potential issue.
Right. And, I saw that on Hackers, old 80s movies where, the guy hacked into the computer system and every 5 cent or every transaction this oil company did, 5 cents went to his wallet. And it's like, it's crazy. The amount of things you can do out there. So stay safe, guys. That's the biggest thing. And Ags had a great question. And I paused you on that, Ags, because I wanted to really spend some time on this. So it says, it is time for the Bitcoin cycle when people go into crazy mode because it's easy to see short-time profits. It is difficult to understand the long-term narrative. Can you explain the narrative a little bit better on the long term?
Yeah. I don't want to make the assumption about which narrative she's referring to. So if you can throw in a follow-up comment real quick, because I don't want to waste like 5 minutes talking about the narrative for Bitcoin if the narrative that you're referring to is like a trading mindset or what, right? So follow-up comment and we'll circle back to this one. Let's get to the rest of the comments.
Absolutely. Okay, so she doesn't know show. So next question is wow, so why is Solana on the rage right now? It's a great question, Oliver. Why is it on the rage?
Honestly, I've never really paid attention to the network until recently because someone hired me to launch them a token on Solana. So I'm doing that for them. But other than that, I never really pay attention to it. So I don't know why it's popping off right now. That's something you'd probably have to dig into and research. But I'm not going to sit here and spout off a guess and if I don't know.
Right. And the only thing I know that's really pumping Solana, like I said earlier, was the Helium network with their new T-Mobile thing. That's a big one that they've got going there. And I know 2 other games that are starting to launch on Solana that's starting to pick up. Really, that's about it. Not a whole ton, but I'm sure there's more out there. Those are just the few I've heard of. So I say it's begrudgingly. And Rose asks, so, how is my birthday earnings doing? Cyril, how is her birthday earnings doing? I'm curious.
Let me check. Hold on. I do have the AVAX network on here. Hold on. You are up $7.92 out of your $20 winnings. So you're up like getting close to 50%. So I would say you're up probably about like 44% right now.
And I want to make special note to everybody watching this. Remember, I sent it over on the one blockchain that Cyril absolutely despises, but I love. So, who's the winner this week? Ooh, baby.
Well, I mean, you can throw a dart right now, and everything's gone up about 44%. So, I mean,
except BNB. That's the only thing I think.
hey, it's trying. It's trying. It went up more yesterday when everything else was going down.
Right. Yeah, it was coming back, and so I think the narrative on that's going to shift.
Yep.
And yep, I agree. And so Ags said any narrative. So is there something specific on that, Ags, that we can drill down for you, give a little bit better perception on?
That's
a big scope, isn't it?
yeah, it's a very big scope. The narrative that we're trying to teach here at Rags to Riches is be mindful of the balance within your portfolio, right? You don't want to be sitting there holding a whole bunch of something that winds up being a very large piece of your pie, right? So you're going to want to sit here and periodically take profits on things as it's going up so that the percentage of your holdings on that decreases to a healthy level, right? Because if it's skyrocketing, you should be maintaining the balance health of your portfolio. And that allows you to, because of course, if it goes down in price, the pie shrinks a little bit. Okay, so maybe that's good to bring its ratio back up, right? Move some of the profits that you took back into it, so on and so forth. By properly balancing that and managing your portfolio and keeping those healthy weights across your different investments, it will force you to follow that DCA out, DCA in, and follow that whole process, and follow the take profits and pay yourself process.
Gotcha. Okay. And yeah, that's good. And now, like I said, random narrative, BRC20, GameFi, AR, RWA, and like currently popular at the time one.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, there's, with the initial question, it could be difficult to understand the long-term narrative, right? Because there's all these little short-term narratives that everyone's throwing out there. And I think it's tough to know what to latch on for a future vision, right? You're like, okay, which direction am I going? Because there's so many options. You've got people in the space who only invest in GameFi because they believe, the ability to take my gold that I earned in RuneScape and transfer it over to my character in WoW, or, convert it into credits for my Mass Effect game. There's people who really believe in that narrative. I should be able to have a special outfit skin that I can take into any game and play it. I can import my own 3D character models and play it. That's something that you can do with blockchain, NFTs, tokenized versions. You can have, there's actually projects out there that have games onboarded where you can convert your currency from one game to a currency in another. It's got LP pools set up and everything. So there's that exchange rate, and that's just one narrative. And you could spend months just learning everything about it, right? Here we are in our little slice learning about, how to safely invest and manage, and how to properly have a mindset about all of this. And we're spending a lot of time learning and teaching that. You could spend just as much time on every single one of those things, like the BRC20s. People are trying to find a way to launch tokens on the blockchain network and efficiently. Problem is, that's going to run into scalability issues, and I just don't like it. But yeah, but you could spend an equal amount of time learning about that. So you're ultimately going to need to look at what appeals to you, right? What is it that interests you long term? What do you believe is going to be the direction the future takes? That's what you're going to want to be into. That's what you're going to want to be interested in, right? Because that's something that you're passionate about. And it is better to be a master of your craft than to try to know little bits about a whole lot and then realize at the end of it, you didn't know enough to make a right decision about anything.
Very true. And, that's one great thing between us, Cyril, is we have very different interests. Mine is very much in the GameFi world and the mining aspect. Yours is very much on the commodities and the real world strategies and things like that. And so I think between us, we've got a pretty good diversified aspect, but at the same time, just like we've talked before, I like AVAX, you don't. And so it's just one of those fun competitive aspects. And, as just like Cyril was saying, is find what you really love, find what really interests you and work as much as you can. I'm not saying it's going to be the best or the worst. It's just yours. And that's what's great about, the crypto world is there's something out there for everybody. And so if there's something out there that interests you, dive into it and start building friends there, get their input on it as well. And once you're in kind of a circle of, for instance, GameFi, I start hearing about other games. So give you an idea, I got into Star Atlas, then I heard about Shrapnel, and then Mech.game, and Super One, and then all these others. But a lot of these, most people who aren't into the GameFi have no idea what I just said. They're like, wait, what is all that stuff you're talking about? Me, I'm super stoked. Yet Cyril can pop up with commodities. I'm like, I look at him cross-eyed, like, the hell is that? Well, it's this on the NASDAQ. I ain't got a clue, man. So yeah, that's a great thing. And definitely get in the Discord. And throw some shout outs there. It's like, hey, anybody else in GameFi or anybody else in the BRC20s? And I guarantee you're going to find somebody with your similar interests that can point you in a few of the right directions. So yeah, let's make it great.
Absolutely. And because remember, it's your reality. Do what you enjoy.
Exactly. I want to say that. Let's see. I only said that because there are signals that people follow. Yeah, there really are. And there's a lot of different ones depending on the area of interest. And so the signals are going to vary depending on the area of interest. What I see in AVAX is not going to be the same in Solana, or one in GameFi is not going to be the same as the NASDAQ. So the signals are going to change just as much as the environment changes.
Absolutely. And to point out, some of those differences, again, like prior to literally a week ago, there's a lot of people who do like tune in or ask my advice on things, but literally like until a week ago, I had no idea how the Solana blockchain worked, right? Or even what language was used to code on it, because it just wasn't in an area of my interest. So what you really want to look for are a whole bunch of different people. Like don't focus on just listening to or following one person, right? Even if they did steer you right a couple of times, you want to focus on finding people who are extra passionate about something that you want to learn about, right? It doesn't matter where they sit. It could be anybody, regular Joe Schmo, could be an influencer with, 1 million followers, but are they passionate about what they're into, what they're talking about, and what they know? If they're passionate about that, that's all that matters. So those are the kind of people that you want to listen to and learn from.
Exactly. And at the same time, remember, go down to the base levels. We are always accountable for our decisions. So even though they may be passionate, they may be fairly knowledgeable, they still may be wrong. So be careful, decide for yourself, always.
Yep.
And, I used to like you, Ferret. You're into Taylor Swift. And down the rabbit hole we go. And then Oliver says, I love Binance, but it doesn't love me back. I feel the same way someday, Oliver. Yeah. There's a lot of things I love that don't love me. Like, go figure.
It's because you use Trust Wallet.
Oh, that'll do it. Absolutely, Axe. Hey, I think it was great questions, and I think it brought up some great discussion. So that's what we're here for. If you guys have questions or want to know something, throw it out. And you know what? The great thing is, if we don't know, we're simply going to say, I ain't got a clue. But if we do, we'll share what we can.
But, you know what I tune in for?
I do. But we got to cover one other thing first. We're going to push the dance off for just a minute. I know I hate to do it, but I want to take a special moment, guys. If you're operating a ledger, okay, be very, very careful. Disconnect it from everything. There has been a compromise on the ledger platform, and I don't know the details about it. I'm sorry?
It's been fixed.
Oh, it has been fixed?
Yeah,
okay.
It was only active for 40 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
What happened in that 40 minutes? So, Cyril, fill us in. What happened, buddy?
Yeah, so essentially, an employee over at Ledger, they had their computer compromised, which enabled a hacker to obtain their login key to push code, right? And so the attacker pushed code, and the code was up there for 5 hours, but was only active for about 40 minutes. And they were actually able to successfully freeze all stolen money as USDT. And they're going to be working to return that to people. And they had the fix pushed, and that was propagated out, and everything is fine. But what I want to say about that is your hardware wallets are only as safe as what you connect it to. 99% of the funds stolen in crypto are due to what we like to refer to as a PEBCAK error. PEBCAK. Problem exists between chair and keyboard. Your ledger, your trust wallet, or not trust wallet, sorry. Dang it, Oliver. But yeah, all of those hardware wallets, SafePal, things like that, they're only as safe as what you connect it to. You should only ever be using your hardware wallet to send to and from your hot wallet. That's it. You shouldn't be importing it into MetaMask somewhere. You shouldn't be doing this. You shouldn't be doing that, right? It is purely for sending to and from your hot wallet. If you lose your funds and you connected it to something, I do not feel bad for you, okay? It is your hardware wallet. Security and safety is your responsibility. So please. Anyway.
Exactly. And I do feel a little bit bad for you, but at the same time, we've given warnings. I've got a video specifically on security of MetaMask and on hardware wallets. So guys, if you want have any questions, go back and check out on the Zero to Hero series I have. One of those talks about MetaMask security, and you can actually lock up your MetaMask by putting it behind another MetaMask. And your safe one only sends to your hot wallet. That's it. Even though it is a hot wallet, that's a way you can get the security without going out and purchasing a cold storage wallet. So there are ways around it. The biggest thing is you got to want to do it. You've got to want to be safe.
Absolutely. And just putting it out there because it's a disclaimer that needs to be said. Putting a MetaMask behind a MetaMask does not give you the same level of security as a hardware wallet because the key lives on your device. So a regular virus could get on your computer, etc., and take the key. And they would be able to decrypt it because the decryptor for MetaMask is a public thing. Anybody can use it. It's on their GitHub. So just bear that in mind.
Hey, let me ask you. That's a great question. So if you plug in a cold storage wallet to your computer and it has a virus, can they do the same thing?
So the cold storage, it would have to be, I think, a virus specifically designed to go to a USB connected device. I'm not going to comment on that because I do not know enough about coding viruses to answer that.
Me neither. So, okay. Biggest thing is nothing is safe. Nothing is foolproof. So it's really up to us to stay safe out there. That's what the message we really want to push today. Okay, and so Ags asked a great question. What is a hardware wallet you use, Cyril?
So I have the Ledger Nano, and then I also have the Ledger S. I don't know. It's been a while since I've seen it. They're in a safety deposit box. I have the address for sending stuff to it, and that's all I use it for.
Got it. Okay. So great information there. So we've reached that point in time, boys and girls, cats and dogs, and all other smart farm animals, where we get to dance. But if you, I know, Cyril's favorite part. But if you don't know what the dance off is all about, and oh wow, what I just lost. Here we go. So if you took the time to go out and vote, and nope, not that link, that link. Here we go. And you can do that through the Discord. Huh?
One of those links.
One of those links, yeah. The other one was for the spreadsheet. But definitely go out, cast your vote. And that's where you get to vote for a DeFi project and a blue chip project that you want us to invest in the Rags to Riches show, because we do what you guys say. So as always, definitely like the video, but go out and cast your vote. That's the important part here, because we want to know what's coming down, because we can't pay attention to everything like we talked about earlier. We need your help.
Right. I want to know, what are you passionate about in DeFi?
Right.
Because you can go add it to the voting leaderboard, and then you can go tell us about it, right? Tell us why you like it. Tell us what is it that tickles your fancy and makes you interested, right? Because you're the captain of your passion. Tell me about it.
Exactly. I totally agree. And so without further ado, let's go see who our voters are today. Now, here's the trick, guys. If I happen to win, I add $10 to the pot and we go again. But here's the catcher. If you win, you have to DM me before the end of the stream. So you got about 30 minutes from the time the dance completes to DM me with your wallet address and verification is to you. So just take a screenshot that you watch on YouTube or Twitch or Facebook or any of those to verify I'm sending it to the right wallet. DM me and I will get that over to you.
Oh, okay. About 20 minutes, actually.
Yeah, you're going to have to DM me fast today. But I can tell you, you know what? We've got one freebie on here because I know Hope Giver is out of town right now. She's probably not watching the stream. So if she wins and she doesn't collect, it's going to get added to next week's. And I think Rose won the last time she did that.
Yes, she did. And Blue Star, let me guess, you went and voted either today or because then that would be on for next week's.
Right.
If you voted today, because the polls reset Wednesday nights.
They do. And Rooster, I'll pause before I start dancing. Let me go double check because it keeps the log, and I will double check and see if Rooster is in there. And you know what? For fun, I'll do it this way. Okay. So every time a voting poll ends, guys, I put up that's all, folks, and then I go through and I verify. So Serenity voted, Cyril voted, Alex voted. At S. Who at S is. Rooster, is that the new one? You are on there, Rooster. Look at that. Right there. AVAX, or is that today's? No, that's the current votes. That doesn't count. We got to go one for that.
You did vote today.
Yep, you did vote today. Okay, there's that one. So let's work backwards.
Yep.
Chrome, John. Wild Angel. Serenity, Cyril, Defi. Nope. Sorry, Rooster. You were not there, buddy. You missed last week, so make sure to cast your votes, guys. Hey, we like you being here too, buddy.
Oh, and eggs, don't worry. It's not we're not asking you to predict the future. Remember, it's not like these polls isn't what do you think is going to go up next week? Because that's not what we're trying to do here. We're saying, how do you basically, what is it you like about this project? Should we toss a little bit in there and see what happens, right? Because honestly, there's no real risk to any of this. If we end the year, down, then we end the year down. The only one that I'm out of, or like I'm the only one who's out anything on it. But yes,
thank you for your donation.
Just vote for the tokens that you like, the ones that you plan on holding, and we'll do the same.
Absolutely. And yeah, that's what it's all about, because we know we're going to win. We know we're going to lose. But combined, if we come together as a community with all of our shared knowledge, we should come out ahead. And I'm excited to see how we stand after the last week.
Yeah.
So let's get to dancing, baby. Are we ready?
I am.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Big money, no whammies.
Ha.
Hey.
You didn't share the sound.
Oh, damn it. I'm fired. Well, I'm dead first, so that's karma right there.
I guess you were fired, huh?
I was. Ooh. Let's see. Now they're dancing. There you go.
Ooh, dance. I would dance to the music, but...
I know there's no music. I hear the music fine. I'm sorry, guys. What is it with me and music? I can turn off the background music if that would help.
Oh, there goes Chrome. That's all right. Chrome here right now anyway.
TK.
Oh, no.
Hey, 3 remain. Ooh, make it 2. Defi and John Richter. Who's it going to be?
Defi. Nice. Congratulations, sir.
Defi, make sure to shoot me a DM before the end of the stream, buddy, and I will definitely get your winnings over. And thank you for voting, and thank you to everybody for being part of the fun, because this is what makes it enjoyable.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you guys weren't going and voting on projects for us to look, do the purchases for and everything, then I would just be putting it all into blue chips, and we wouldn't have that on the show.
Yeah, he would never own any AVAX. It'd be horrible. And hey, super huge shout out, Jonas. Thank you, buddy, for the donation. We appreciate it, and it makes a huge difference. Thank you. And see, dance for your bees. Exactly, yeah. Shake it, baby, shake it. Ax says, so we vote for a narrative. Get it? Okay.
Yeah, there you go. Vote for the narrative that appeals to you.
Exactly, and I voted for ones that have gone down. I mean, I've thrown ones on there, and that's a great thing. The polls are open, so you can add whatever you want. All we ask is if you do add something, hey, jump down and discuss the vote and tell us about it. Give us links. Let us dig into it, and who knows? We might find that next golden ticket in the Discuss the Vote channel.
Absolutely.
Jonas, thank you again. Yes, you can touch my head. Go ahead. Ooh, it feels like a plasma screen. What's up? Woohoo, go Defi. Congrats, Defi. Okay, so now comes the big question, Cyril.
How did we
stand? I don't know. How did we do? You're the man that knows. And guys, if you want to follow along with our journey while he's bringing that up, in the Down Home Crypto Discord, we keep a spreadsheet so you can go in and track every bit of this. you can also use that exact same spreadsheet to build your own portfolio and monitor it and track it. Cyril's already built it for us. You just got to fill in the blanks. So definitely use the resources we're giving you guys to make your journey the most profitable you possibly can.
Absolutely. There we go. So, ladies and gentlemen, we began last week with $759.17, and we ended the week, got a little ahead of myself there. We started the week with $733.41. We ended the week at $759.17. I guess that was a spoiler. And that's a profit of $25.76 or 3.39%. And here's a cool little thing. Our portfolio, despite the fact that we started this like only halfway down the bear market, because guys, this is episode 35, right?
Oh, really?
Yeah. We have like, what would that be? 17 more episodes?
Something like that, yeah, for a year. Wow.
I don't know. My head's not here with me today. But and so we started before the worst of the bear, and we've been DCAing all the way through, and our portfolio is in overall profit, despite the fact that everything hasn't come anywhere near where it was when we started this journey price-wise. And that's the power of DCAing. It's why we've been preaching it this whole time. Just put it in little bits at a time, and it's going to serve you well, because even when everything starts going up and you're getting less bang for your buck, you got a lot of bang for your buck during the bear market because you were buying periodically.
Exactly. And the great thing is we haven't even started the bull market and we're already in profit. That's mind-blowing right there.
Yep. And I know a lot of people are out there saying, oh, the bull market's back, right? We've seen this kind of movement prior to the halving pretty much every time, right? It has a decent shot of, peaking sometime in the next, couple of weeks. Might have already done so, right? Because nobody knows for sure. That's the nature of it. But when it does, it'll probably pull back a bit, right? It's done a hell of a run recently, and it needs that consolidation period, even if it just goes sideways for a while, right? Which just gives us more opportunity to DCA at this price floor before it does start post-halving. So we'll play it by ear.
And so, that brings up a great, easy for me to say, a great thought there, Cyrus. I was talking to Chrome earlier today, and he was asking me, how's it going? So on, like normal. And, I realized this year has gone by so fast. I haven't been able to DCA the amount I wanted to. So I'm actually hoping for a pullback so I can get at least a few more weeks of those sale prices before the stuff goes through the roof. So even though it might seem painful for a pullback or even going sideways, man, it's more opportunity. It's blue light special. Because, we know the next bull market is going to explode. The narrative of just the vision of cryptocurrency in general across the governments and all the legal aspects have changed drastically. I think the next bull market is going to be pretty exciting stuff.
Yeah, I think it's going to look different, right? It's not going to be the same as what we're used to. We might see some old models getting thrown out the window. You never know, but it'll definitely be an interesting time. And I know a lot of traders who are hoping for pullbacks. I know a lot of DCAers who are hoping for pullbacks. I know a lot of people who just sit there and hold, who are hoping for it to go to the moon right now, right? And that's the difference. You don't want to be one of the people who doesn't know what to do during a pullback and just sits there and holds because they bought it all in one shot, and now they have no choice but to hold when they're down because they don't want to take a loss, right? Be one of the people who's excited for when a pullback occurs. It's just like if you're going, not not this Black Friday, but usually, on Black Friday, you see a TV's on sale. You don't get mad because you bought it earlier at a higher price. You're like, oh, sweet, let me get another one, right? Put one in the office. That new curved monitor, 43-inch, 4K. Like, let me get that, right? So you have to have that same kind of mindset towards a pullback if you believe in the long-term view, right?
Exactly. And speaking of exciting, oh my God, are you serious? Ags? My dear, is that a $200 donation? That is a record. That is a record for Down Home Crypto anywhere. Thank you so much, my dear. That is amazing.
I think it's NOK. I'm not sure what currency that is.
I don't know.
It's the Norwegian krone. Okay, yeah, that was 200 Norwegian krone. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you so much. That is awesome, Ags. And whose G-string tree are these singles going in? Interesting. I don't know. I don't have a G-string on right now. Man, if you're putting money out, I might put a G-string on, but we'd get banned really fast.
Is that my cue or?
What?
Is that my cue or?
No, you're not ready to run away. So, where do we stand, real quick, Cyril? Because as you said, we're in profits now. So, how does our total portfolio look?
Yeah, so let's take a look at that. We're gonna go over here to our spot. Our portfolio is balancing out pretty well now. We've got a solid amount of C Gold, Matic, BNB. Our blue chips we've been gathering up. We have some USDC ready to deploy. We are mass and what was the other one? Our mass.
Yeah, we're getting demonetized right here. Man.
Yeah, it's Barry's fault, probably.
It is.
Anywho, our LP position in Elephant Money has kind of just been chilling there. It hasn't really gone up, hasn't really gone down. It fluctuates back and forth like $2. Our claimable rewards in BUSD from our mass deposit and the Momentum Finance singularities does not appear to be accruing anymore. So remember when he asked us about that, I believe, on a previous episode.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago, I think.
Yeah. And I said that I believe our unstake happened like in the next episode or two. I think it happened since our last episode because we have not accrued any more additional rewards. So I guess we can't just leave it there and still earn from it if it's not locked.
Okay.
But I think what we'll do is we'll probably just deposit it all in there for now because it just kind of appears to be going sideways. So our trade plan for the momentum tokens that we have is we'll probably just relock all of it. We'll earn approximately $1.64 off of it over the next 30 days. But it was $20 investment? Or was it No, I think we did it twice. It was a $40 investment.
Was it 40? Okay. I remember once. I don't remember the second one, so I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, but I mean, still, that's essentially 5%, right? A month. That's not bad.
It's more than you're going to get out in the real world anywhere. That's for sure.
Absolutely. And so that's why we're doing that with our momentum tokens because they're not really volatile right now. They're not really going anywhere. They just kind of go sideways. They'll go up a little bit, then they'll go down a little bit, and they just kind of do that. And Rooster's saying we don't need to relock it, but we have the exact same unclaimable rewards this week as we did last week. So either they haven't deposited or we're just not earning right now.
Okay. So we might have to dig into that a little bit. That'd be a great homework assignment. So we'll figure out what's going on. I like that.
Absolutely. And thank you, Barry, for the donation to Serenity's channel here earlier.
Yes, thank you. It's awesome, Barry. You guys are so generous and so amazing. Thank you, because you guys are why we're here. Honestly, this is one of those where we want to get this information out, and this is a fun way to do it, and it's all for you guys. So thank you so much for your generous donations. It means the world to us. And Smiley said that DCA advice is very helpful. Thank you. Absolutely, Smiley. That's what we're hoping to do here is help and educate and guide, and hopefully we all win. That's what we really want. We want to all meet together at the peak of the next bull market when we all take our profits and we'll have a party on a desert island somewhere. That's when I'll wear the G-string.
Well, apparently we didn't earn because they haven't done the distribution yet because they were supposed to do that, I guess. They probably do it every Epic, which Epics on blockchains end Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern time.
Oh, okay. So it's probably going to happen by the time we're done with the stream. It'll probably show up then. So we'll know on next week's.
Yeah, probably.
That happens. And that's one of the big things. Delays are going to happen. There's going to be technical difficulties, delays. Things are going to happen, and you just got to roll with the punches. And I'm okay with that.
Yeah, it's part of it. It's part of that journey. And that's why, especially when you have a smaller portfolio, you don't want to be in 800 different projects, right? You want to pick 3 to 5 maybe that you're invested in, and you just want to keep it to that, right? Because it can be a lot to keep up with. Oh, this is happening over here, that's happening over there. Oh, I'm going to have to migrate over here, so it's a lot to keep up with. So don't make it stressful for yourself, right? Pick a couple good ones and just chill.
And so that's a great piece there, Cyril. On that, can you bring up that pie chart again?
Yeah, I can do that. Hold on.
Thank you. English is my second language, right next to gibberish, obviously. Because it looks like we're getting a lot of variety here. How many total variations do we have so far?
Yeah, so let's see. That's a blue chip. That's a stable blue chip. I mean, it's gold, so I would consider that a blue chip. So that's blue chip. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 currently in our portfolio. Actually, well, no, because we do have some elephant money, but it's in the LP pool. But I think we got like 20, not even. So sorry, go ahead.
Okay, my question to you is, so our portfolio is less than $1,000 currently. Yes. What would be a good, healthy number of DeFi projects that somebody would be active in that you would say is kind of a cap? If you had to put a limit on DeFi projects for $1,000 portfolio, what would that be?
I'd say realistically 3.
Okay.
NFA.
And see, for me personally, I think 5 to 6 is about max. I think anything over that, you're too spread. So, and that's a great thing about this is even our opinions can vary, and that's okay because it's your portfolio. So what you decide you're comfortable with, just be careful because there's so many things and they're changing so rapidly. If you get in too many, you're going to miss when they say, oh, you have to do this next 24 hours or you lose it all. And that's happened. We've seen it time and time again.
Yep. And it's worth remembering that diversification is only done to protect wealth, not build it, right? So keep that in mind as well. And
good safety tip.
In this space, it is very easy to, if you wanted to, right, you could just condense all of the blue chips into one, right? Because they will all generally move in a correlation with one another. Specifically, any blue chip that exists on the Ethereum network, right? Obviously ETH being the main one, you could just condense all of your DCAs down to just on blue chips to ETH, right? You might miss a little bit or, get a little bit more percentage wise, but all those blue chips are correlated. And in order to get into any DeFi project, they first have to buy the blue chip, right? So there's really, if you're trying to go long-term, there's really no reason to even mess with DeFi. It's just the blue chip because everyone messing with DeFi has to buy the blue chip to get to the DeFi, right? And right. The price of everything in DeFi is paired to and tied to the blue chip.
Right. And so Oliver brought up a great question because by the definition, we run with blue chip as the native blockchain token for a voting pool. But I'll ever ask, what are considered blue chips, Cyril? Because I thought BNB was a blue chip, but you said it was something else.
I don't remember the exact conversation, but I think it was the time we were discussing the differences between a native network token and a blue chip, because while the two can be the same, are sometimes different. Because there are native blockchain tokens out there that definitely don't fall in blue chip categories. They fall in the shitcoin category. Because I could launch a blockchain in about 30 minutes. I could have a forked version of it running on my laptop, right? And then that's my blockchain. That's my blockchain token, but that does not inherently make it a blue chip. So you want to look at liquidity depth. You want to look at how many markets is it in. If you go to Bitcoin on CoinMarketCap, and you look down, scroll down a bit, you're going to see market pairs and markets. And dude, there's pages and pages and pages of markets for things like Ethereum and blue chip. Yeah.
And I think that's a good question there, Oliver. And yeah, it can get very confusing. You say, oh, it's a native token on this brand new blockchain. Well, that must make a blue chip. Not really. And what one person considers a blue chip, someone else may not. And so everything is about perception. Biggest thing here is do what you feel is right for you. Just be safe.
I think that conversation was in regards to when we were talking about blue chips, and then I used a blockchain that the Seifu people were trying to create as an example of the network token versus a blue chip.
Right. Okay, that makes sense. So let's see, donate everything and donate Serenity. Oh, well, thank you, Jonas. Appreciate the donation. That's good. I love that we can have fun here, guys. This is great. I love the comedy, the pleasure, and it just makes it so enjoyable. So many people think crypto has to be stuffy and uptight and serious.
Yeah, don't let Jonan fool you though. He has been in my trading Discord for years now, so he knows what to do and what not to do.
He's doing well then. Good man.
Yes.
Excellent. Good to hear. And X says, I have less than 20% of my total crypto portfolio in fun crypto, but it's only during Christmas time. I get in, get out once the chip goes 50%, never marry the crypto. Ags, that is awesome advice. And we've talked about that on numerous episodes here, is just because you get in, even if your friends get in, even if your friend is running the crypto project, don't marry to it. Be wise, be smart.
Yep, absolutely. And for those of you who understand the reference, don't be afraid to toss out that black card.
That's right. As we saw on the last Freaky Friday, we did a great thought experiment on that. And if you missed it, definitely go check it out, because last week's Freaky Friday was a lot of fun. And we talked about the entire money game. And so it was pretty wild. Had a great time and had Smiley Girl on there. It's absolute blast.
Yeah, it was fun. Now, let's see, because you were about to do the closing remarks, right? No? Let's see the votes?
There you go. Votes. So, who wants to see what we voted for? What do all these crazy kids think we should be investing in? Wow. Hold on, I lost the earbud in my ear. Technical difficulties. I can't hear. Okay, now I can hear. Okay.
That's
you.
That's me.
Okay, how about I add this one? Voting results for this week for the blue chip was Matic with 6 votes.
Nice.
And a repeat of Defi. We've seen this a few times in a few weeks in a row now. It says all in blue chips. Defi sucks. Interesting.
Now, it has been funny though, right? Like the further along we've gone in this series and the more educated and learned our viewers have grown over this time through their time in the space and through, hopefully I'd like to think, watching the info that we give here, their sentiment seems to have shifted.
It has quite a bit. And now I wonder, this brings up a great conversation here. Could that be because where it's the bear market, where there's not a lot of hype, there's not a lot of things really coming out that's solid enough for us to sink our teeth into? Hopefully, we're educated enough to know the difference. But I wonder if this is going to change once things really start taking off. Will we get more risky with this? What do you think?
I think it'll be definitely interesting to watch, right? Because we essentially have a little miniature version of a sentiment gauge here that we've remarked about a couple of times. Be like, hey, I noticed that Matic was down last week during the voting period, and I noticed that Matic was what you guys voted for. That sentiment shift that, hey, this might be a good deal, so let's vote for this one, that kind of stuff. And I think that when we hit the full-on bull market and anything out there launching just pumps because it's there, we might see that shift, because we are going to see a lot more new faces, right? Who maybe haven't gone through the same journey that our viewers have gone with us over the last 35 weeks, which in DeFi is a long time, right?
It's a lifetime.
We've been able to kind of watch through the voting results as our community has grown in knowledge and experience.
And I hope, even when we get new people in, I really hope that the community from down home gets together and we get to educate those people. And as always, the biggest thing is to get the new people in here now, while it's still less crazy and a little more safer, is that a word? To dive in and start to learn these things without, all the hopium and all that's going to be flowing. Because man, when that bull market hits, people go nuts. They get absolutely crazy.
Yep. Emotions run high. Anybody can just sit there and click buy and make money. And and it's great until it's not, right? Which is why you want to be able to go in there, DCA in, DCA out, and then be out before everyone else decides they want to be out too, because they're not going to DCA their way out.
No, they're going to take all your money and you are their exit liquidity.
Yeah.
Thank you, Brett. Safer is a word. Okay, good. The way I said it, I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. My brain just stopped and did a speed bump when I said that. And Ag says, my donation here was through Binance card. I need a new one. Well, thank you, Ags. And does that mean there's something I have to do? And if so, let me know. And if not, either way, thank you. Just the fact that you care enough and you want to donate, it means the world to us. Thank you so very much for that. Okay, so boys and girls, cats and dogs, and all other small farm animals, make sure to cast your votes before you go to bed tonight. Before you shut this down, go in and cast your vote for next week. And we are going to have a next week stream just before Christmas. Now, quick alert, we will not have the following week for the regular Rags to Riches, but I'm thinking we might have to do a special event. I know Cyril's going to be out of town enjoying the holidays. So we might have to plan something there. So if you guys have suggestions or ideas, throw them in the Discord. Let me know. What would you like to do on the 28th? And we'll set up a special event. We'll make it a party.
Yeah, I'll be driving.
That doesn't sound very exciting. Depends how much ice is on the roads.
Well, hopefully you guys planned something fun, because I'd like to be able to listen in while I'm driving and, hear you guys having a blast without me, and hopefully not getting into too much trouble.
Me? Oh, I'm in all kinds of trouble. I'm going to be unsupervised. Man, somebody's got to show up and keep me out of trouble, because, that's our role's main job. His job is keep me out of trouble. That's it.
Yes.
So I want to give a huge shout out, say thank you to everybody for joining us tonight. The donations have been awesome. It's so much appreciated. And as always, the only thing I ever ask is, hey, take a moment, like, subscribe to the channel, and tell your friends about us. We want to educate and teach as many people as we possibly can so they can go into the bull market prepared and ready to rock.
Absolutely. So thank you guys for tuning in, and feel free to drop questions in the Discord as well. If there's something you want us to go over next show, drop it in there. If there's some project you want to share with us, drop it in there. This participation is what enables us to have these shows for you guys, custom tailored. So keep it up, and thanks everybody, and we'll see you all next week.
Thanks, guys. Have a great week. Be safe out there. Catch you next time.